يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم بأمرهم هذا وهم لا يشعرون وجاءوا أباهم عشاء يبكون قال أبانا إنا وجاءوا أباهم عشاء يبكون قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون وجاءت سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فأدلى دلوه قال يا بشرى هذا غلام وأسروه بضاعة والله عليم بما يعملون وشروه بثمن بخس دراهم معدودة وكانوا فيه من الزاهدين صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. حضرت حق جل وعلا شانه وعز اسمه وتم برهانه says, قال قائل منهم, one of them said, لا تقتلوا يوسف, don't kill Joseph, because it is highly culpable action, very heinous. وألقوه في غيابة الجب, and cast him in the depth of a well or in a dark well. يلتقطه بعض السيارة, some of the trading caravan will pick him up will take him out. In kuntum fa'ilin, if you have decided to do something, if you are insisting upon doing something, you cannot avoiding doing something, you should not kill him. You should cast him in the darkness or depth of a dark well. Qalu ya abana, according to this unanimous decision, they went to their father Jacob, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him. They said, Ya abana, our father, malaka la tamanna ala Yusuf, why don't you trust in us about Joseph, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him. Wa inna lahu lanasikhun, when this vow is haliya, for accusative of sentence. The hal in Arabic is called hal. In English, accusative of sentence. Wa inna lahu lanasikhun, when we are his real well-wisher, his real sympathetic. Arsilhu ma'ana, send him with us. Ghadan, tomorrow morning. Please send him with us tomorrow morning. Yarta wa yal'ab, so that he may be able to eat freely and to play freely. And he should join our hobbies. Wa inna lahu lahafizun, and we are duty bound to look after him. It is our duty to look after him. Nothing is to be worried about. Qala inni layakhzununi an tadhhabu bihi. Look, the insight of the Prophet. Prophet is already knowing their intention. This statement of the Prophet shows that he knows all of the plot, all of the conspiracy constituted against the Prophet. Quran says, Qala inni layahzununi an tadhhabu bihi. The main thing which is worrying me, which is troubling me, is that you are taking him away. You are taking him away. This is the main thing to be worried about. Means you are taking him away is a matter of worry about me. Because you have constituted a plot. You have constituted a conspiracy. You have devised a device against him. وَأَخَافُ أَنْ يَأْكُلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, and I fear that a wolf would eat him up, would devour him up. وَأَنْتُمْ عَنْهُ غَافِلُونَ, when you would be negligent of him, you would not be paying attention to him. قَالُوا لَئِنْ أَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, they said, if any wolf comes there and try to devour him, وَنَحْنُ أُصْبَةٌ, when we are large in number, we are a band, إِنَّا إِذًا لَخَاسِرُونَ, then we are very mean community. We would be incurring a heavy loss on our part. فَلَمَّا ذَهَبُوا بِهِ, so when they took him with them, وَأَجْمَعُوا, they agreed to, or they achieved a unanimous decision. They decided with the unanimity, أَن يَجْعَلُوهُ فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ, to put him in the darkness of the well, in a blind well, in the darkness of well, in the depth of well. These all meanings are valid. وَأَوْخَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ, in the meanwhile, I put down a revelation to him. I revealed to him that لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُمْ بِأَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا. Oh Joseph, nothing is to be worried about. The time will come. The time will come. You would be in position to tell them the total details about their conspiracy, about their devices devised against you. You would be able to tell them in details, and you would make them realize the contempt, the hatred of their action. بِأَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, when they would not be able to understand. Means you would be on the throne of Egypt, you would be wearing a crown of the king, and they would not be expecting to be a king, and all of a sudden you will make them realize that there was a brother of yours with the name of Joseph. You cast him in the well, and you sold him to the trading caravan, and you persecuted him, you tyrannized him, and you wronged him, and you did not leave any stone unturned about his persecution. You exercised atrocity against him, but they would not be able to recognize you. When you unveil, when you uncover the real fact, they would be taken aback, they would be astonished. Quran says, وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ إِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ. When they completed their schedule, their scheme, their conspiracy, they came back to their father at the time of night. Yabkun, they were crying and mourning. So this is a fabrication fabricated by the false people, that when they commit the crime, they try to conceal the fact by means of mourning, by means of crying. So this is the sign of the murderer. They always try to conceal their heinous action, their bad behavior, by means of their crying. Quran says, قَالُوا يَا أَبَانَا, our father, إِنَّا ذَهَبْنَا نَسْتَبِقُ, we went away to run the races. وَتَرَكْنَا يُوسُفَ إِنَّ مَتَاعِنَا, and we left Joseph, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, with our luggage, to look after the luggage. فَأَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, in the meanwhile, a wolf came there and devoured him up. This story was fabricated by them as they devised it before the meeting of Jacob alayhi salatu wasalam. And the Quran says, since they were guilty conscience, this is the sign of guilty conscience, that before the statement he feels him guilty, and he shows the suspicion about his criminality. Quran says, وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُؤْمِنٍ لَنَا, O Father, you don't look to believe in us. وَلَوْ كُنَّا صَادِقِينَ, even if we are truthful. وَجَاءُوا عَلَىٰ قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍ كَذِبٍ, and they came with the shirt of Joseph alayhi salam, with the blood stains on it, just to make a circumstantial evidence to substantiate their claim. قَالَ بَلْ سَوَّلَتْ لَكُمْ أَنفُسُكُمْ, بَلْ إِزْرَابِيَّ حَرْفِ عَطْفَ, diversive conjunction. This is called diversive conjunction, means it refutes or changes the previous idea. Means the previous idea is that he was devoured by a wolf, but it is not fact. بَلْ سَوَّلَتْ لَكُمْ أَنفُسُكُمْ أَمْرًا, means so this heinous and contemptible and highly hateable action committed by you was adorned, was beautified, was decorated by your evil souls. Means this is hallucination constituted by the evil souls of yours. For sabrun jameel, it is appropriate on my part to exercise the patience, tolerance, and patience is good for me. Wallahul musta'anu ala ma tasifun, it is only Allah asked for the help. Ala ma tasifun, regarding what you are fabricating. وَجَاءَتْ سَيَّارَةٌ فَأَرْسَلُوا وَارِدَهُمْ فَأَدْلَى دَلْوَهُ. So one of the trading community, one of the trading caravan came there, and they sent their water carrier. فَأَدْلَى دَلْوَهُ, so he put his bucket in the well to draw the water. Quran says, "Qala ya bushra hadha ghulam." When Joseph alayhi salatu wasalam was standing on a rock inside of the water, though the water was in a vast amount, but the safety was provided with by Allah Rabbul Izzat. Wow. Therefore, no danger was imposed on Joseph alayhi salatu wasalam. Quran says, when he found Joseph alayhi salatu wasalam, he peeped inside of the hell. He saw that there was a very beautiful boy. He said, "Haza ya bushra haza ghulam, hurra up." Good news. This is a good boy. This is a very beautiful boy. Wa asarruhu bida'atan. And they concealed him and they hid him in their luggage just to sell him in the market. Wallahu alima bima ya'malun. And Allah knows better what they have been doing. Means nothing can be hidden from the knowledge of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wa man waluhu. Wa sharahu bi samanin baqsin daraima ma'duda. And they sold him for a very paltry, very minor price. Darahima ma'duda, that was a few darahim. Wa kanu fihi min az-zahidin. And they were not interested in Joseph alayhi salatu wasalam. So this is the verbal translation of the passage I recited before you. Now I would like to make a commentary on the recited passage. Quran says, "Qala qa'ilum minhum." Look, the severity of the punishment can be minimized according to the minimization of the crime. Since all of the other persons, the overwhelming majority was in favor of killing, slaughtering of Joseph alayhi salatu wasalam. But Yehuda was not in favor of slaughtering. He advised them not to kill Joseph, but cast him in a well or in a place which is detached and remote from the population, unpopulated and unknown to the society, and thus he would be destroyed. So since he tries to neutralize their severity, so Allah Rabbul Izzat granted so many bounties to him. He was bestowed so many bounties of Allah. Many prophets were created in his generation, his offsprings, his progeny. His progeny was granted prophethood in a large number, because at the time of commission of crime, he tried to neutralize the severity of their envy, their jealousy. So it means that if a person tries to minimize the ratio of the crime, the ratio of sin, he is rewarded by Allah Rabbul Izzat. Wherever you live, you try to neutralize the people about their sins. You should try to draw the power of their sins, and you should try to divert their attention to the virtue. You would be rewarded. So this is the lesson which can be achieved from this statement. Quran says, وَأَلْقُوهُ فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ يَلْتَقِطُهُ بَعْضُ السَّيَّارَةِ إِن كُنتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ. If you are not going to avoid commission of crime, committing the crime, I shall advise you to cast him in the well. قالوا. Accordingly, they cast him in the well. But when they tried to cast him in the well, they persecuted him very much. And the traditions, the commentaries are full of their atrocities. He penetrated, "Oh my brother, I'm your brother. I'm not deserving person to be thrown in the well. I did not commit a crime for which I should be punished. Punished? I'm not a deserving person to be punished. Punishment is right of a criminal, and you cannot incriminate me for any crime. I'm an innocent person. I'm your brother. Your father and my father are the same person. You are my paternal brother. You should not tyrannize me. You should not wrong me. I am a deserving person for your love. I should be loved. But they were not ready to consider any quality. They began to kick him. And he entreated. You are your elder brother. You are just like my father. It is not appropriate on your part to kick me like that. When they wanted him to throw in the well, they took his shirt off his body, and he was just naked when they tried. But while sending Joseph ﷺ with his brother, Jacob ﷺ devised, attempted an attempt. He devised a device. And what was that? That was the shirt which was sent down by Allah Rabbul Izzat at the time of Ibrahim ﷺ, when he was going to be thrown in the fire, in the pyre, P-Y-R-E, pyre. Pyre is the collection of fire which was prepared for Abraham ﷺ. May grace and peace of Allah be upon him. So that shirt was put on the body of Abraham ﷺ, and the fire could not touch the body of Ibrahim ﷺ. And that shirt was handed over to Ishaq ﷺ. And the same shirt was handed over to Jacob ﷺ. And that was a relic. Relic means tabarruk. So here the Quranic history, the traditional history shows that the relics were used for the safety of human being. And this is an Islamic ideology that at the time of danger, at the time of necessity, the relics should be used for the protection. So it was used just like a talisman, just like an amulet, taviz, just like amulet, A-M-U-L-E-T. Amulet means taviz. It was used as an amulet in the neck of Joseph ﷺ. And when he was thrown in the well, it was Gabriel who was duty bound to come down and furnish his feather underneath of the feet of Joseph ﷺ. Joseph, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him. It means that Gabriel is to serve the prophets, though he is chief minister of the sky. He is very prominent authority on the sky, but yet the dignity, the status of prophet can be checked, that Gabriel is duty bound to spread his feather underneath the feet of the prophet. So Gabriel was duty bound to save Hazrat Joseph, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him. And he opened the relic and he made him wear. So he took on the body, and the same shirt was torn in the palace of Egypt when Zulaikha was going to commit a sin, and she tried her best to persuade Joseph, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, but all in vain. Then she tried to catch him up. The same shirt was torn at that place. And when Jacob ﷺ was blind, and Joseph, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, sent his shirt, the same shirt was sent. Izhabu bi qamisi haza alquhu ala wajhi abiyati basira. So take this shirt of mine and throw it on the face of my father. His eyesight would be restored. So he did not say inshallah even. In spite of the fact that he did not say inshallah. He just said that as soon as you throw my shirt on the face of my father, his eyesight would be restored to him. So accordingly, the shirt was thrown on the face of father, and his eyes was restored to him without any pronunciation of inshallah. It means that the statement of the Prophet is a sign of inshallah. So this was the same shirt. So the shirt has got a history as a relic, and this belief can be substantiated